management of the fund as stipulated by Part 3 of Act Number 19 of 2021. In exercise of the powers conferred upon him by Section 5.1 of the Natural Resource Fund Act Number 19 of 2021, His Excellency the President will today appoint chairperson and the 4 directors of the Board of Directors of the National Resource Fund. As mandated by Part 3 of the aforementioned Act, the members of the board have been selected from among persons who have wide experience and ability in legal, financial, business, and administrative matters. Additionally, 1 has been nominated by the National Assembly and 1 is a representative of the private sector. His Excellency President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali will now formally appoint Major General Joseph Singh, Ambassador Caroline Godwin-Burkett, Professor Compton Board, Mr. Dunstan Burrow, and Mr. Ramesh Dubey to exercise the office of chairperson and directors of the Board of Directors of the Natural Resource Fund for a period of 2 years, with effect from today's date, the 30th day of August, 2022, in the 53rd year of the Republic. May I now invite those persons to receive their instruments from the President, commencing with the General Joseph Singh. Act Number 19 of the Natural Resource Fund 2021 provides for the establishment of the Public Accountability and Oversight Committee, which will provide non-governmental oversight of the Natural Resource Fund. This committee will comprise members appointed by His Excellency the President, one of whom will be appointed as the chairperson. In the exercise of the powers conferred upon him by Section 6.1 of the Natural Resource Fund Act Number 19, His Excellency the President will today appoint the chairperson and 6 members of the Public Accountability and Oversight Committee of the Natural Resource Fund. The members of that committee have been selected as follows: a nominee from the National Assembly, 3 representatives of the religious community, 2 representatives of the private sector, 2 representatives of organized labor, and 1 representative of the profession. Consequently, the President will now formally appoint Mr. Clement Seeley, Mr. Wendell Jeffrey, Mr. Abu Zaman, Mr. Ryan Alexander, Ms. Dawn Gardner, Ms. Aslin Singh, Mr. Aslan Singh, and Mr. Ken Musti to execute the office of the chairperson and members of the Public Accountability and Oversight Committee of the Natural Resource Fund for a period not exceeding 2 years with effect from today's date, the 30th day of August 2022, in the 53rd year of the Republic. These members are eligible for the appointment. I will now invite the persons so nominated to receive their instruments from His Excellency, commencing with the chairperson, Mr. Clement C. nominated members of this committee are Mr. Desmond Sear and Mrs. Sabitri Bahadur, and both of these persons are currently out of the country and will receive their instruments on their return. Act number 19 of the Natural Resource Fund 2021 also provides for the establishment of the Investment Committee, which will be responsible for advising the Board of Directors of the Fund on the investment mandate referred to in Section 5 of the Natural Resource Fund Act. This committee will comprise 7 members, appointed by the Honorable Senior Minister within the Office of the President with responsibility for finance. The members of the Investment Committee have been selected or will be selected as follows: a nominee of the Minister who will be the chairperson of the committee, a nominee of the Minister responsible for the administration of the petroleum sector, a nominee of the Attorney General, a nominee of the Leader of the Opposition, a nominee of the private sector, and 2 ex officio non-voting members, one being a senior investment advisor and analyst, and the other being a nominee of the Governor of the Bank of Guyana. Consequently, the Honorable Minister Dr. Ashley Singh, in the exercise of the powers conferred upon him by Section 8(1) of the Natural Resource Fund Act number 19, will present letters of appointment to the following persons who were nominated to sit on this committee, namely Mrs. Teresa Shaw, who will be the chairperson of that committee, and members Mr. Michael Monroe and Mr. Richard Rambaran. I now invite the Honorable Minister to present the letters of appointment to the persons nominated in the order announced, commencing with Ms. Teresa Shaw. The other members of this committee are currently unavailable and will be presented with their letters of appointment at a later date. On behalf of His Excellency, the President, and all who are assembled here, I'd like to offer congratulations to the newly appointed chairperson and directors of the Board of Directors of the Natural Resource Fund, and the chairpersons and members of the Public Accountability and Oversight Committee and the Investment. His Excellency the President will now make remarks.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister, Vice President, Dr. Ashley Singh, Chairman of the Private Sector Commission, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great honor and privilege to be part of this very important and significant ceremony in which we have gathered together what I would say is an exceptional human resource pool of Guyana in performing duties and functions that are critical to this new sector, or oil and gas sector. More importantly, we promise that in administering our responsibility to this sector, that we will have persons who demonstrate capacity and capability to manage, but more importantly, that the government would have an arm's length relationship and would have a group of people, not political in nature. We are very pleased today that we have been able to fulfill this important responsibility and that the management of our oil and gas resources is now strengthened with the establishment of these important boards. Let me make some early clarifications. In our initial list of persons announced for the Board of Directors of the Natural Resource Fund, you will know that we had Mr. David Lana. As we all know, the circumstances in an environment in which he's operating has changed. And due to changes in his requirements at home in the UK, he asked us not to have him play a part on this board at this time because it would not be keeping with what his priorities are. As a result of that, we were able to have an excellent replacement, a man of great international stature, regional stature, a Guyanese who we are all very proud of, in Professor Compton Board, the former president of the Guyanese. The Board of Directors of the Natural Resource Fund is a very important part in the management structure of our natural resource here. And this board brings together experience in different fields, brings together knowledge in different fields. And it gives us, I think, a combined capacity and capability that will bring true value to the management of our oil resources. Major General Retired Joseph Govinda Singh, I learned his name only last time. Major General Retired Joseph Singh is no stranger to Guyana. He has contributed significantly to national life at every level. He has great understanding of our country's development. Ms. Carlin Rodriguez Burkett is no stranger to Guyana also. She also has international experience. She is presently at the UN and brings tremendous value to this board. Mr. Ramesh Duku is a long and outstanding member of the Private Sector Commission. And of course, Private Sector Commission would have nominated him as a private sector representative. Mr. Dunstan Barrow was a nominee from the National Assembly. And of course, he too is no stranger to national life and national development. So I believe that with these members of the Board of Directors of the NRF, we as a country should be very proud that within our population we could find citizens of this stature who can now perform this responsibility. As a government, we want to assure you of our full support in ensuring that you can execute your mandate and you can perform your duties with ease, efficiency, and with the necessary impetus that is required to make your work efficient. Then we have the call the POAC. And the members of the POAC are no stranger also to national life. As the Act provides, there were specific recommendations and nominees that would have had to be on this PAOC, representing different organizations. Mr. Clement Seeley, chairman of the PAOC, was the nominee of the National Assembly. Pastor Wendell Jeffrey represents one of our three religious communities. Mr. Abu Zaman, who is here, Ryan Alexander, Aslin Singh, Don Gardner, and Tenny Husky are all citizens of Guyana. All of us are affected. They have all demonstrated competence in a different field that they are in, and will bring tremendous value to this POC. The investment committee, Ms. Shalisa Shaw, as chairperson, is no stranger to the world of finance. Mr. Michael Monroe, a young lawyer specializing in the area of petroleum. The other members that would be appointed, Lawrence Hukum Chan, Mr. Richard Ramaran, no stranger to the private sector, and of course the two ex officio non-voting members. One would be the senior investment advisor and analyst, and a nominee of the governor of the Bank of Guyana. I also want to make it clear that the leader of the opposition was written to, because in accordance with the Act, the leader of the opposition must also nominate someone to sit on the investment committee. We are awaiting that nomination. So today, I think we must all be proud of the fact that we've been able to move one step closer towards the efficient management of this sector, and more importantly, we are fulfilling our responsibility and our commitment in ensuring transparency, accountability, and independence in the management of this sector. I wish all the members good luck. I want to thank your family members who are here with you for the support they've given you, and to say to all of you that we look forward to working with you in the interest of Guyana and in the interest of this sector. Thank you very much. You can join us. Here's the Vice President. And Ashley. They both left. I thought they were one. Yeah. Let's go. Public Accountability and Oversight Committee. Chairperson.
See you a long time. Many years.
Investment Committee, part of. Feel free to use the